Class C offense, but it's not. I just won my water. It's not just.
Hey, Lieutenant. Miss Bernita's here. You need to check.
I was at CASPA, about to give a presentation. I was brushing my teeth in my car and I opened a water bottle. It spilled all over my lap. Oh, this is the first time that I just printed it off. But, yeah, but it's repeat information. So a lot of this is taken from slide. I don't know if the budget history is repeats, but yeah, it's not like anything too detailed. Yeah. Yeah, a little more current. Yeah, a little more current. So it shouldn't take too long. And then we'll get out of your guys' way. You can go ahead and conduct business. I don't want to say how long to figure out how to put this logo on just the first page, but that was quite the thing this morning. Word is tough. It's one of the most complicated pieces of software. Try to see that. Is that the new map?
Our city limits and all our houses.
Everybody's ready. You have a great seat today between you all your friends up there. Okay?
I think this is kind of where we sit last time
Yes,
too.
yes, I did.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm ready. What about the chief recording?
This recording.
Okay, good evening, everybody. Today is Monday, June the 15th, 2026. Time 6:35. Calling order, Mayor Eddie Norman.
Kind of recording.
See, this recording, is it recording? It is, okay.
Alderwoman Tawana Broadman.
Alderwoman Virginia Rivers.
Alderwoman Mary Mason. Alderman Alethea Hurst.
Town Administrator Terry Leggett.
We have today, the Vice Mayor is absent today. We open prayer by Town Administrator Terry Leggett. We open prayer.
If you'll bow your heads, please. Our Heavenly Father, we gathered here tonight to conduct business in Mason, Tennessee. I pray, O Lord, that you will come and sit in with us on our meeting. Lord, let everything we do here tonight be found acceptable in your sight and bring glory to you and bring prosperity to the town of Mason. Lord, thank you for all the blessings you've given each one of us. It's in your precious Son's name, Jesus, that we pray these. Amen.
Amen.
Lead for the flag.
Yes, pledge allegiance. Y'all face the flag on the wall. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all. Mayor report, I don't have any reports, so we can let Sheila go first, if you don't mind, please.
Okay, yes,
Yes, ma'am.
thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Thank you. I'm really thankful to be here with everyone tonight. I know it's been maybe a year. I don't know if it's been quite a year since I've been here, but just wanted to just bring a message for encouragement with the decision that the board made to adopt its new charter form of government. I know that there's been a lot of just disunity and dysfunction, with the board in the past, and we really believe like this new charter is gonna make a difference to move you forward as a board. And Adam has compiled some information that we wanna share tonight about just, where the town's been and where you are now and looking forward to where you're gonna be. And if you have any questions with the information that we share, please just feel free to ask us any questions.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Brad.
And so this is information that we've shared last time we were here, so it's not necessarily new information, but it is updated. So
Did everyone get a copy?
oh, here I can. Yes, okay. So you can have this one, but then I need it too. So the first thing I'll talk about is the audit history, and this audit history actually looks really good. So if you'll notice the days late, I think 2017 is sort of the standout there. It was 906 days late, which I don't know how many years that is, but a long time. But it's gotten better each year. But the key thing here is the total number of findings. It was 25 findings in 2016, and now as of 2025, you're down to 1 finding. So you're close to having no findings, which is a pretty awesome job. So good job on the audit.
Yeah, very commendable.
Yeah, and the other thing to look at are interfunds. And I almost made a table with these interfunds, but then I realized I could just snip the audits, and I took that lazy way out. So you have a few pages here of audit snips, but the main thing to highlight with these interfunds, as a lot of you probably know, one of the bigger issues that the town faced was the due from general fund due to the water fund, and that, of course, was taken care of. And so you'll notice, I started this in 2020, but you'll notice that interfund from the general fund to the water and sewer fund was pretty large in 2020 and 2021. But as you sort of go through these screenshots, you'll see these interfunds coming down. So again, good job there on those interfunds. I do though want to make a note. I think it starts with the 2024 and 2025 interfunds. Those are starting to climb, especially the water owing the gas fund. In 2025, it's $572,000 water owing the gas fund, and then there's general fund owes the water sewer $150,000 or $145,000. Now I will say the water to the gas fund is a pretty large amount, but I mean there could be a perfectly reasonable explanation for that. But this isn't necessarily as alarming as it was back in 2020. However, seeing interfunds climb is usually a sign that somehow there's revenue that's not being remitted in a timely manner, or there's a shared cost that's not being accounted for, or, well, accounted for is probably not the right term, but there's a shared cost that's probably not being reimbursed. So with interfunds, it's not necessarily uncommon to have interfunds, books close, and you could have, say, a month's worth of shared costs that haven't been reimbursed yet before books close. But this is more than a month's worth, and so just I wanted to highlight that just to kind of point out, those interfunds are there, and it's not necessarily horribly alarming because I think these kind of net out in some ways, because the general fund may owe the water sewer, but there's other funds that owe the general, so it's kind of a plate of spaghetti there. But I just wanted to bring this to your attention so you knew they were there.
And that's something, let me add just to what Adam's saying, as far as when we first started to work with the town, it was because the general fund did not have enough money to repay the water fund for the money that it had used. And looking at these numbers, it looks like that's not the case, as far as there is enough money to make everyone whole, per se, but this is a concern because that balance is the largest that we've seen in these past 2 years, up to, the total is like over $1 million. And just like Adam said, that's not from 1 month. Interfunds are common in audits, but it's normally for that 1 month. And this is an accumulation of, it looks like where the reimbursements between funds have not been taking place. And so we wanna really put to the top of the list for the finance folks to develop a process where that reimbursement takes place just on the same day, that there's no delay. And we have discussed this with the mayor in the past and with, Renita, and I believe Lynn worked out a process, but somehow that process stopped along the way. And this is where a lot of times you don't know until you see this audit. And the audit is what really brings to light what's happening. And so we do want you to put this on your priority list, because what happens is, when you look at this, it's kind of confusing to look at, like, what's going on here?
There is a chart on the next page, by the way, a line graph. I do better with graphs myself, so it highlights two of them. So not to interrupt you, but
Yeah,
no,
but,
these are the two concerning ones.
and,
Good,
and,
go ahead.
and so our goal is really that this would be no interfunds. You know, we want that reimbursement to occur at the time of the disbursement. And so, work with Angie Deaton, your impasse consultant, and she can reconcile this for you. And she can look at all the cash accounts and see really where each fund is at. Because right today is June 15th, you have 2 weeks left until the end of the fiscal year. There's no reason why she could not come in here and say, here are the entries you need to make, here are the transfers or the reimbursements you need to make. But really try and address this before June 30th, 2026.
Where is Ms. Renita?
She's right behind you, Mayor.
Come on in, Ms. Renita, have a seat in the house now. Come on, you grab a chair here. Grab a chair here, man.
And we can reach out to Angie too and see if she can arrange a time to come here, because this, you know, this is something that can be remedied, just like Adam's saying. It's not that
Relatively
it's
simple fix.
like, oh no, we can't repay it. It's like we just need to clean it up and start following the process.
And I will say as well, this is a great opportunity. I know we talked, however many months ago it was, about internal controls and procedures. And you may have an internal control and procedure set up for interfunds, but if you don't, this is a great opportunity to put that on the list to say, when we have a shared cost, or when one fund may collect revenue for another fund. So the water fund, for example, could collect revenue for all enterprise funds. But if there's a policy in place to say when that happens, we'll transfer it. As Sheila said, same day. I think the corrective action plan, I think the verbiage in that may have been immediately, but I forget what the exact wording was. But this is a good opportunity to explore putting an internal control and procedure in place. But yeah, it appears that each fund can afford their due from. It appears.
And when we started working on the 24 audit, the water fund, the gas fund, almost $500,000, and the water fund just did not have it. So that big sum been there for a couple of years.
Okay, so there's not enough to pay back that one?
No, it's not.
Okay, and so we'll have to work out a repayment plan
Right.
to where there's a specific amount each year over the next 5 years
Mhm.
where that is repaid. And so the water fund owes the gas fund.
But
And,
I will transfer.
I thought
it
we
was already open.
done all along, or just
For
something
we can.
different.
Right.
Well, it's almost, as of 25, it's almost 600,000. I don't have that.
One
cash
second,
in
Ms.
there.
And-
Renita.
okay,
I was gonna ask you, you was referring to, replacing, well, to both of you, well, you referred to replacing it within the next day or whatever, but if the money is not there, it's not gonna be able to do it. Plus, when you mentioned that in the, agreement, that it's like the same day, they gave a grace period of 30 days that they had to be able to put that money back, in this agreement with the state. That's in that, agreement. That's what
okay,
was
for
in there.
reimbursement.
For reimbursements, if they gave them, they wanted it back more, but they gave them, he gave us 30 days to be able to do that. Because I understand what you're saying, but with the situation like it is, it's possible that she's not gonna be, or whomever's not gonna be able to put that money back the next day if you using it. You see what I'm saying? If you're using it out of the account, you're doing it for a reason, so it may not be in the next, it may not be available to put it back the next day.
But it should be available though.
3 days.
We have them.
'cause
We do.
No,
it's
I thought
30.
you had 3 days. She
I
said
remember that
30.
from.
Yes, no, it's 30 days.
Is it 30?
Yes,
It was.
it's 30 days.
About that.
But
And then,
it-
but since then, we worked with the
Yeah.
town to create that immediate,
Mhm.
because the cash balances have been built up. And so,
But
We-
now,
and we looked, now, we're only looking at the audit, but when we looked at the 2025 audit, we felt like each fund had enough cash. Now, it may be in a certificate of deposit, but the money was there at June 30th, 2025. Things may be different today, and that's where Angie can come in and reconcile.
And that's where, in like a grace period, it was mainly because the amounts had gotten so large, but really, I mean, there shouldn't be, if revenue belongs to one fund, it shouldn't be used by another fund, it should be
That's
available to
right.
transfer.
Or else that's a loan. We
Yeah.
consider that a loan and an indicator of some financial distress for the fund that cannot reimburse
It's-
immediately.
And so we really shouldn't be in a position where we still have to use a grace period. After this much time, this should be fixed.
Okay,
If
let
we
me
have-
be
If
clear
we do
regarding.
that, oh, I'm sorry.
Excuse me.
If
Let
we
me
do
be
that,
clear. Go ahead,
Okay.
Ms. Harris.
if we do that, that means that we have to contact you and get, your permission to do that, or let you know.
Oh.
And get,
If you can't
make
afford
an
to.
arrangement.
Yeah, if you
Right,
can't
if we
afford to.
can't
Yeah.
afford to
If
reimburse.
it's for like an operating loan because one
Yeah.
fund doesn't have enough and they have to use another fund's money,
right.
that
Yeah.
is considered an operating loan. And we look at that as a concern, depending upon the fund. And for the general fund, sometimes that will happen in the city because they're waiting for property taxes, which come in a lot in like December, January, February.
Right.
And so that's not as alarming, and we've worked with different cities to build up their cash reserves so they don't need that. But when it's a utility fund, their revenues are more constant throughout the year, and so there is a concern like on day one, whenever we receive that request.
Okay,
And this
let
is-
me be clear for regard about this situation. Ms. Vanita, she's taken over 2024? Yeah, 2024. And Miss Lynn and the Haley, she was doing all this paperwork. And every time, every Tuesday, 12 o'clock, when we meet together, we mention whatever we got, whatever it is. So whatever all this number is, we inherited from them. You follow what I'm saying? So it's passed it on. Plus,
That
if
was
you,
4 or 5 years ago, right, at this
Yeah.
point?
the 2024, okay?
25,
The,
right?
the 20,
But you've been
it was 24. She was regular employee, but she taken over 24.
Okay.
And then
Oh.
Miss Lane and the Hayways, she did until what, 2024? Yeah, it's just recently, you know what I'm saying? So everything is just full, it's not in us or Miss Vanita, it's full catching up whatever the people is before that. But,
And that's, and so bringing this up wasn't necessarily to say, you guys made a mistake here or a mistake here. It's mainly just to say,
yeah,
we're here today and these are the numbers, and so it's an opportunity to, going forward, to put those policies and procedures in
but
place.
we did a lot of progress.
Yeah,
correct?
there has been progress for sure, yeah, but,
And you can see, like Adam pointed out, to that one interfund where the general fund owed the water, that has been corrected.
yeah.
But since then, the interfund transactions, when the CCD comes in at the end of the year, there's still, this fund owes that fund, and this fund owes that fund, and that was in 2024 and 2025.
That's correct.
And so it's, I think our goal is really to look forward, to look ahead and not back and say, what can we do today?
And I'm pretty optimistic too,
But-
by the way,
Yeah.
going
But,
forward.
but we have the money, there is no money missing, okay?
Okay.
They're coming on the 25th, so I already called her.
Oh, good. Okay, good, perfect, thank you, Anita. That's great.
We already set it up.
Okay, and she'll be able to reconcile this and develop a process to where this is just,
Automatic on this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
No
mean,
problem.
and I am optimistic. I think you guys can tackle this, and I think, going forward, I think you should be able to do some work on this. So I'm pretty optimistic about the future going forward.
But since y'all on this, I wanna make sure, cause you made the statement that you wanted, and I'm, just for clarity for me, you made the statement that you wanted, that you guys prefer to be refunded back the next day, or if it's not able to be refunded back, they need to contact you guys and let
Yes.
you know. But you also, since you want it done that way, that means now, the 30 days, y'all wanna wipe it out and us to do it quicker.
And what we're saying is that there's really no reason right now not to raise that bar,
Okay,
because every
That's what I'm
fund has
trying to make sure.
reserves, yes,
Okay.
exactly.
so you don't, it's been raised to the next day.
Mhm.
Okay, that's for clarity, that's all.
Okay, yes. Just when you're writing one check, pull out the check for the other, for the transfers, to where it's all one entry. And then that way you don't find yourself caught behind on reimbursements.
Jane, I know the water fund has 246,000 in a CD. It would appear to me that it needs to transfer some money to the gas fund
Yes,
to try to bring that number down.
Yes.
Which means we just move it from one fund to the next. The money's still in the bank, but it moves from water to gas.
Yes,
Am I-
exactly.
Okay.
Exactly, and, the principle in Tennessee law requires that the gas fund and the water and sewer, that those rates that you charge the customers go to that service and not to supplement another utility or the general government. And so it's like a standalone business, and so you wanna maintain the integrity of those dollars to that utility.
Well, does that mean that you break have to break the CD to be able to transfer it?
I think
Or
we
can you
can
keep
work
it
with
in-
the bank and leave the CD, we transfer it from being called a water CD to a gas CD.
I imagine they'd work with you on that. I'm
Yeah,
not a banker,
and I
it's
think
like-
the bank will work with us because they're not having to give us any money. They change the title of the CD, and then, of course, the interest that CD makes, we will deal with later in the meeting, can go to the general fund. No, I take it back, it's gotta go to the fund that money belongs to.
belongs to, right.
Alright, and if there's no more questions, there's just one more page. And this was just budget, it is budget season, and so when we talk to our local governments this time of year, no one gets away without hearing about the budget, so. So I did just wanna go through your budget history. You can see that there's a series of non-approvals, and then there's a few conditionals with no amendments, and that's really mainly because of T-Bor. So when utility funds are under T-Bor, budgets are, I can't, well, 98% of the time, maybe 99%, if a utility's under T-Bor, the budget's going to be conditional on some way. And it's either gonna be an amendment if there's a negative change being projected, usually, or it may not be an amendment, but it might just be conditional on following T-Bor directives. And so that was the case in 26, and also 24 was just following T-Bor directives. And then 25, the budget wasn't approved, and it wasn't approved because it, unfortunately, there wasn't a quorum that was met in time to adopt the budget, and therefore it was adopted late, and so we weren't able to approve it. And then 22 was a delinquent audit, and then 23, I believe we asked for an amendment on the budget. So I believe it was conditional approval upon amendment, but I don't believe that amendment was ever turned in, and so that was not approval. But you know, these are years in the past, so it almost is somewhat irrelevant. But I just wanted to bring that up since it is budget season, and you guys are working on your budget now. I think you've had first reading, so that's really encouraging. So I do just want to say good job on that. You know, we historically the budgets, at least since I've been working with you guys, have usually been turned in late August, maybe mid-August. So I already have first reading now. It's quite an accomplishment. So we certainly appreciate that. But all this to say, this is mainly here we are today, and it's not necessarily anyone's fault. We're here because of this or here because of this. It's mainly just we're here today, and then going forward, these are some things to take note of. But yeah, I think you guys have a lot of opportunity ahead of you, and I think you can do it.
I do too,
So-
and the fact that we're here before June 30th gives you that opportunity.
Yeah.
And we don't know where the interfunds look at today, again, this is June 30th, 2025 that we're looking at. They may look better today, you know, we don't know, but Angie will be able to come here and help you reconcile that and make sure that they look better in the next audit.
But the way I read it in the BAS and different cities is if people not BAS in timely manner, you can get extension for that, is correct or not?
For what?
Like
Giving
if people not
extension for
approve the
budget.
budget, you give them extension, some cities get extension until I believe August or something like that. But I'm not talking about our cases, but it happened before, did you know, you give extension,
To adopt your budget?
yeah,
You may need continuation, cause
To
there's,
send in the budget, to
Yeah.
submit the
Okay.
budget.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
saying it.
He's saying if we don't get it done on
I
time,
think
but
I got it.
we're trying hard
It
to get
happened
it done
before.
on time. We don't
Right.
wanna.
Too many cities and stuff
Extension.
like that.
Yeah, I think you always want to adopt what we refer to as a budget calendar, where you have your budget adopted before July 1st. And that way you start the fiscal year.
Yeah.
Just ready, with a nice clean budget ready to go. Now, there is different, you know, continuation authority that cities have, but that should always be the exception.
I remember last couple of years, we cannot pass it, so we have to get extension for it, and we working on budget year before that. You remember, we did that.
Oh, when you did the continuation budget.
Yeah,
before.
continuation
And that was, I
before.
think, a unique situation.
Yeah,
Now, I mean, I think you went probably beyond.
yeah, right now we don't care.
And, yeah, and the law was changed this past year to move that up.
Yeah.
To where that what you experienced year before last maybe,
Yeah,
is now not even an option under the law.
We are on track to have our second reading on the 27 budget on the 29th of this month.
Okay,
And
That's
if
awesome.
that passes,
That's
as
great.
I anticipate, we will have a budget passed and approved by the board before July 1.
And to you before July 1.
that's fantastic, I don't know.
I know that was not easy, I mean, a budget season is a lot of times the most stressful time for governing bodies, so just well done, like Adam's saying, you know, good job, I
And I'm
agree
sure
on that.
at some point in your past, I'm sure you've gotten it before the beginning of the fiscal year. I don't remember that happening, so good job on that, guy, very good job.
You gotta work on your memory. Adam.
honestly, I just let everybody know, this lady, she's working hard, she do what she's right, and she's the only one got the town together after all the mess what happened before. Honestly, tell you straight up, did you know? And there was Helga with NTAS, Mr. Ronnie Niels back then, and we catch it up, we did the changes, and also with your recommendation, bring everything at home. The finance, you remember we used to have a contract, subcontracts, or whatever it is. So we listen to everybody's direction, what your recommendation is, bring everything at home. So we appreciate it for your direction, appreciate it. Any recommendation for anything or any
I think
direction?
really just what we've shared and continue, I know, I think with Adam's charts here, you know, he's demonstrating, you know, that improvement, where we can see improvement in different areas.
I wish this wasn't descending order looking at it, cause the improvement, I think if you're reading it down would be more apparent. But
I
this
like
is-
it this way,
this
I
is
like
a lot
it
of
this way,
impro- to go
'cause this is
from-
where they are.
25 findings, which is pretty incredible to one, I mean, that is quite a bit of improvement, so.
Yeah, that showed a lot of work done, and, you know, but do focus on that interfund, that is something you, and we're gonna reach out to Angie, you already said she's coming on the 25th, and let her know this is something to work, you know, with, because, again, we don't know where it is today, we have no idea.
Do all of these corrections, that we used to get or whatever, was that including, were you pointing out to us the areas where we have weaknesses that make it easy for fraud or theft, like oversight and that kind of thing?
Yes, yeah, that would have been a finding.
So you're saying that we've corrected all of that, or that's what the audit is saying?
That's what the auditor said, so when
That's
the
what the
auditor
audit
found discrepancies, they would increase your risk of fraud, or it would increase even just the chance of a misstatement in your financial statements, because your records didn't have control surrounding the financial reporting. And so it's like financial reporting, it's compliance with laws and regulations, and risk for for fall, is what they're gonna look at to address his findings.
So then what is the one
It was,
thing that we have to fix?
Could it be the
So we
internal,
have
the
zero.
internal funds?
no, they didn't fly, it was a, it was one I hadn't seen before. It,
I have the
it was
audit
kind of
in my-
obscure, I can't remember what it was, but it
Yeah,
wasn't.
major.
Do you remember what it was, Miss Benita, the one correction? The-
One finding in last year's budget.
Yeah, on the audit report?
I think, Miss Evan, she told me, but I forgot actually.
It wasn't one of the common ones.
It's not major.
Yeah, it wasn't
Well,
one
it's
of
gonna
them.
be corrected next year, so,
It's not major.
or this year.
And I will say too, as far as recommendations go, so findings are down, which is great. You guys can get to know findings, that'd be awesome. But there's still a lot of room for internal controls and procedures, which you may have some that have been passed at some point, but really look at those and really start looking at implementing those. Interfunds are a big one, and then also a budget adoption calendar. You guys did a good job this year, but a budget adoption calendar would really help. But yeah, I harp on internal controls and procedures, but that's a great way to avoid being in an environment where fraud can kind of like mold, kind of grow. So that would be my recommendation. But you know, you guys are on the ground day to day, so I'm sure you have a better handle on what is happening day to day. But that would be my recommendation.
Appreciate you, appreciate it. And something else, any comments?
Any more questions? Thank you
Appreciate it.
for letting us come here
The only
today.
thing got me very upset, you coming in Monday and Bozo's closed, we're gonna have barbecue today. It's the only thing got me
I know, it's
Out West
interesting,
Tennessee,
yeah, that
because it seems like every restaurant.
closed on Monday.
Yeah.
On Monday.
Yeah.
We could change our board meeting.
I'm old enough to remember in farming communities, they closed early on Wednesday as well.
Yeah.
Most of your small
Don't you
towns,
remember when the post office?
they closed up at noon on Wednesday.
It's funny because they're
It's
out.
because
Yeah.
people rode their buggies and whatever in to go to church on Wednesdays.
Oh, that's
So the
funny.
post office closed on Wednesdays.
That's so wholesome.
Huffington is still closed on Wednesdays, the post office.
That's,
Yeah.
we need to bring that stuff back. That's so wholesome. Wish everyone did that, but
Appreciate you for
Yeah.
coming.
Thanks for having us.
Appreciate you.
Thank you,
Thank
thank
you
you.
all.
It's nice
Thank
to
you all.
see all of you
Thank you.
and
yes, it is also in the official comptroller color palette. I make sure that's one. So it's comptroller red, and comptroller blue.
but,
Jordan and,
Jordan, we're gonna go ahead and go back.
oh,
Kind of homebodies, and so I don't know if everyone, I wanna introduce Jordan back there, she's here with us today, she's our intern for this summer. So really, really excited to bring her today.
Good luck.
you should tell them what your intern said about their trip. The two interns that you had
All
before.
right,
Yeah,
I wanna tell y'all that, I don't know if you remember Grant and Sarah, but
Yeah.
they came with us. And when we were talking to them about what did they really enjoy most about their internship, their visit here was like on the top. Like they really liked just coming here and getting to meet everyone and to experience like just your, like a small town government and, you know, just to see it in action, you know, because we can see it here, you know, in the budgets that we receive on paper and in the audits, but to meet the people and to see an actual meeting and just how you conduct your meeting, that meant a whole lot to them. So thank you, we appreciate your hospitality.
Yeah, it's become a rite of passage for interns. So it
I
makes-
know it, now here's Jordan here.
we different, Mason is different, all the way.
It's really made me appreciate local government. Okay, your more rural local governments can have a huge impact on local government can. So it's really working in rural areas has really made me appreciate the impact local government can have. So overall, it's been a good experience with Mason at Comptroller's office. And
I
I mean,
thought
just,
you were gonna say Nashville, but that's, I really appreciate Nashville, but
yeah,
Nashville's got way too many people.
a lot more
yes.
than Mason.
And to be honest, Tennessee is getting to have way too many people.
It is,
You know,
it
growth
is.
is good, but at the same time, it's like, come on. So
So many people wanting to move here.
yeah, we need to stop selling the state so well.
You know, but the decisions that you make here are really impacting the community. And
Appreciate
it's really important what you do, and so thank you to each one of you.
And for the record, I do welcome Tennessee growth, our low taxation, our low debt, and our history of building reserves, and our fiscal integrity allow us to be a leading state for long-term fiscal stability. As of U.S. News, Worlds, and Reports, 2025 we're ranked number 2. So I just gave a presentation on this
I was
fresh
gonna say, did you
So
just
for the
do a
record,
class today?
for the record.
You sound like you were.
we're
Yes.
we're doing a lot of this.
That's
So
right,
for the
Adam.
record, be remiss if I didn't plug that. So.
You're doing a great job, Larry. We're
It's
blessed to have.
Credit Steve and Sheila. If anyone
Yeah,
wants-
Sheila, she's experienced. She's doing a great job. You guys, all your team. What is Steve today?
He had other commitments, so he
Okay.
sends his best.
Okay, it's the
And,
best.
and he'll be back.
Okay, he's a good man. He's a good man.
He works
I
in
have
his car
respect
too
for him.
much.
his power went out in the ice storm. I called him, and his connection was bad, and he was in his car.
Working,
Like,
I know,
running,
I was
charging his
talking to
laptop.
him and
It's
he
like,
said, I'm in the car
Take the
working.
day off, man.
He's a great man.
He is
He's a good man.
walking encyclopedia.
He is. And very helpful.
Dedication.
Yes.
Appreciate you.
Well,
Appreciate
thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. We'll forgive you if you leave one there.
There's lots of them back here.
Cheers. Here, I will get it out.
Nice to meet you guys.
Nice
Hey,
to
just
meet
leave
you.
it.
You can just leave it.
Okay.
That'll be fine.
Good deal. Stay like that. Yeah, I'll see you at some point in the office, I'm sure.
Thank y'all.
Be safe, y'all.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you for coming.
Nice to meet you.
Yes, ma'am.
too.
Appreciate it.
You-
Okay, we'll move on and, I don't have any reports. Terry, do you have any reports to mention?
The only thing I wanted to let the audience know, those people that just spoke are representatives of the Tennessee Comptroller's Office. They regulate all of our finances. I say regulate it. They inspect all of our finances to make sure that we're spending the town's money in an appropriate manner. And I don't know that they were properly introduced, but I wanted to let you know, and we're honored that they would come down and help us make sure that all of our finances are done properly.
Okay, we move on. Adoption of the mayor and the board of alderman board meeting minute of May 18. I need a vote to accept the adoption of mayor and the board of alderman meeting May 18. And after that, we're gonna have a discussion.
I'll make the motion to accept the mayor and board of aldermen board meeting minutes on May 18, 2026.
A second.
I have first, by Alderman Mason, second by Alderman Harris. Any discussion?
I have a question. I have a couple of questions. I wanted to know on where Miss Courtney Brooks, when she was here, she told us about the bill had not, it was insurance bill, the group insurance bill had not been paid in 2024. And that, we need to put that, we said we need to put that back and forth because the employees were not covered. So has that been taken care of? Cause it's supposed to went in effect June 1.
Did you have the answer for that, Mr. Rick?
We have worked with Ms. Courtney, and she is preparing all the paperwork so that we can bring it back before the board to entertain. We didn't have the numbers. It was more of an information that we gave you before. When she gets the numbers to us, then we'll bring it back to you in the form of a resolution or ordinance, whatever the town attorney thinks is the appropriate document that we need to pass in order to get our people covered.
So as of right now, they not covered.
It's
That's
not
correct.
health insurance.
Huh?
It's not health insurance.
No, it's
It's a
life
life
insurance.
insurance.
Life
Life
insurance.
insurance,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
Right now, they're not covered.
Right,
And
okay.
we can just pray that nobody needs life insurance till we get them covered.
Yeah, all right.
We don't get bills from them anyway. It's correct, Ms. Benita? Yes, anything else?
Yes, I have another question on that, statement for the fire department where it was saying that, Mr. Leggett mentioned that it was a $6K bill that was unpaid. Have that been taken care of?
No, ma'am, I think the bill that you're speaking of was with IIA,
Mhm.
where they did some hose testing back a couple of years ago. Perhaps, Chief, can you
Yeah,
expound on that?
I was in contact with them, and we do not owe them anything, they said.
Okay,
So
I
that's.
think they wrote it off.
They wrote it off, oh, that's
So,
good.
but- And I've been talking with them, because we're gonna have to get our hose tested, and the ladder tested, and the pump tested, before we can even get it serviced. And they are, hopefully, they're willing to come back and do that. But it'll probably be August, when they come and do Fayette counties, they won't come for just a couple of trucks to do. But they're coming to do all of Fayette counties, I think in August, and they're willing to come and do ours too then,
Okay.
so.
We've got way too much hose, and we're gonna have to deal, we've got enough hose to run from here to Memphis.
My,
And so,
We're not getting all that tested.
Right,
and it costs per foot of hose, so the chief is examining our stuff, getting the best stuff. We will have ample supply of hose to represent the town, but we're not gonna have an abundance of hose, because that was a $6,000 bill that they wrote off,
Yeah, they tested 11,000 feet of hose,
which is 2 miles.
and that's, that's,
that was still too much,
oh yeah, way too much.
Yeah.
We don't need that much.
I have a question for you, if you don't mind, please. Can we find a local company? We don't have to find a company from outside the town. It's charging us by miles and time and a half. Oh, did you have anybody in Jackson or Memphis, something closer?
I can look and see, but I don't know of anybody as of, I don't.
Okay,
But I would look into that.
I appreciate you. Any other concern?
I wanted to ask, our chief, fire chief, where you are with your certification update, where are you with those?
As far as my certifications.
Yes, sir,
My fire certifications are all up to date.
okay,
Now, I let my EMT, or my paramedic license go, back when I retired.
mhm,
So that I got to take over,
okay,
and I'm gonna be in the fall class at Dyersburg State here in Covington.
okay,
Already got that set up,
okay,
but that's when the next class I can get
It's
into
available.
is in.
okay,
So-
alright. Thank you for that.
Appreciate you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Any other concern? All right, I need a vote.
Mayor, yes.
Rivers, yes. Roberts, yes. Chapin, yes.
Harris, yes.
Mary's no.
Okay, so that's 5-1. Mayor is no.
Right, we go for the next, the adoption of the mayor and the board of alderman training session between MTS and the board meeting minute of May 21st, 2026. I need a motion to accept it.
I'll make the motion to accept the mayor and board of aldermen training session between MTS and the board meeting minutes of May 21st, 2026.
I have first by Alderman Mason, I need a second.
I second.
Second by Ms. Harris. Any discussion?
Yeah, I wanted to ask Mr. Leggin, I guess Mr. Leggin can answer this. On the last one, we had that fund, I wanna know, are we able to tell the fund balance versus the restricted monies? Have we got to that yet, or we still gonna have to try, cause I know we did talk about getting a fund balance, 25
At
cents.
the present time, after meeting with the comptroller's office and looking, I was not aware until this week that 245,000 that we had
Mhm.
in a CD, that I was hoping we could move to general fund, but that's water money.
Right,
And I will probably be bringing you a resolution to rename that CD to gas.
Mhm.
But in any event, we cannot bring that to the general
No,
fund.
we
So we will be moving money, or I will be asking you to allow me to move money out of other CDs to bring over, because at the present time, our general fund balance is about $29,000, and we still got probably 2 payrolls and a settlement to come out of that. So we're gonna be close. We're gonna be close on money.
So,
We may have to do a tax anticipation note at the bank to borrow money to keep the town running until such time as taxes come in, because we're halfway through the year and we don't anticipate taking in property taxes until starting in October or November. So we may have to find something to help us till we get to that point. But I can assure you, as far as spending, we're gonna be extremely tight on spending until such time as we get some money built up in the bank.
Any more discussion?
I do wanna ask you, you will be able to have those, will you think you have those figures for us by, when we have our next finance meeting on the 29th?
Yes, ma'am.
Will you be able to tell us exactly how much money we will have to remove from the, CDs? And how much we got in those CDs that can be moved, but we do know we can't move the 250 something.
I will probably be coming to you to ask you to allow me to clean out all the CDs with the exception of the 245 and move it to general fund so that we can make the payroll, and then ask you to allow me to, I'll go ahead and explore it. I'll have the numbers on a tax anticipation note that we can borrow enough money. It's like a
Well, we had
swinging
to do
account.
that.
We just go get what we need to do payroll and to keep the city running until such time as the property taxes start coming in. Yes, ma'am.
And you'll be able to tell us approximately how much.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Any more discussion? Alright, I need a vote to adopt the mayor and the board of alderman training session between MTS and the board meeting minute in May 21st.
Rivers, yes.
Mason, yes.
Ketchum staying. Progress, no.
I was not attend to that meeting. I was absent that meeting.
Okay,
At the MTS?
Yeah.
the training.
Training.
So I have 3 yes. That's Mason, Rivers, and Harris. I have 1 abstention.
I was not there.
And Mayor, you're not voting?
I was not there.
I know you weren't there, I'm
Yeah.
saying you're not voting?
No.
You can still vote for the minutes if you so desire. That's up to you. The minutes is just a reflection of what transpired at that meeting. And you can vote to either approve or not approve them. Just because you weren't there doesn't mean that you're precluded from voting
Yeah, I
on the
approve.
minutes.
I approve.
Okay, so you're voting, so I have 4 yes, I have 1 abstain, and then I have Ronax voted no. Correct?
Correct.
Okay. Thank you.
Alright. We move on for adoption of the mayor and the board of aldermen special call board meeting minute June the 9th, 2026. I need a vote, I'm sorry, I need a motion to accept it.
I will make the motion to accept the mayor and board of aldermen special call meeting minutes of June 9th, 2026.
I have first by Alderman Mason, I need the second.
A second.
Second, Alderman Harris. Any questions?
No, cause he kinda explained it.
Okay. I need a vote.
Rivers, go.
Mason, yes.
Rivers, yes.
Cajun, no.
Harris, yes.
Mary's no.
What did you say, Ms. Brownell?
No.
Okay. Okay, I've got 3 that are yes, that's Ms. Harris, Ms. Rivers, and Ms. Mason. I have 3 that are no. Ms. Broadnax, Alderman Catron, and Mayor Norman.
Alright. We move on for the adoption of the mayor and the board, Alderman Special Core Board meeting minute for June 12th, 2026.
Thank you. Ain't that the one we just did? We just did that.
No,
we
no,
didn't.
we're doing for the board June 9th.
Oh,
You just
that was
about
June
June
12th.
12th.
Oh, the 12th, okay, okay, sorry, my apology.
I make a motion that, we accept the minutes for the special call board meeting on Friday, June the 12th, 2026.
Alright, I have first by Alderman Harris, I need a second. Second by Alderman, Rodney. Any more questions? I need a vote.
Mason, yes.
Rivers, yes.
Harris, yes.
I was absent that month.
So how are you voting, Mayor?
It's thing.
You abstain?
Same thing, what's that?
Alright, thank you.
Excuse me, I didn't hear from Ms. Bronax. No, Bronax is the one that seconded, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, okay. So you're voting for it, so I have 4-2. Well, I have 4-0 because,
2 abstentions.
2 abstentions. Okay, alright.
Alright, and, old business, we don't have nothing for old business, new business. Approximately $40,000. Now, I'm sure everybody read it, knows about what's going on with Mason Charleston Road. According to Mr. Ricky Oakley reports about it. We have $40,000 remain for the, remaining for the sewer system rehabilitation. And, with the company, end of the day, we fix the, Mason Charleston Road substation, and we have all kind of problem with it. If it's less than $20,000, we don't have action. Did we receive the bill, Terry, for that?
I have not seen that bill.
Yeah, but I think approximately around $20,000, which is very, very, very good. Mr. Matt, did we receive any bill about it?
No, sir, but, the estimates were, the material gonna be like 15,000, and then the labor was probably gonna run 5,000, so we were gonna be up around that $20,000 mark. So I was wondering why, if we had 38,000, why we couldn't use that 38,000 left from that grant to pay that bill rather than bring a company in here and
I
do
agree with that.
I talked to Rick about that, and he seemed to think, I think it's in the bottom of the message there, that he recommends the town accept this change order subject to approval by TDEC ARP. What he's saying, I think, is that he don't think it's gonna be approved by the ARP to use that money but we're trying to get the station going. I mean, we spend the money getting the station, but I don't see why we didn't talk to, Davina
Yeah,
ourselves. I mean, Mr. Terry, somebody talk to Davina and see why we couldn't use that 38,000 to pay Cottrell, who put that motor in. Because the plan he draw did not even have a motor in it. I think y'all got copies of that on the last meeting. He was just gonna, seal around the tank and run a line, 4-inch line from the tank up to the manhole. And we still wasn't gonna have no motor. What we done was went in there and put a motor in it and got it up and running. It's been running over a month. and we haven't had any problems with it, so it is up and running, and we owe probably $20,000 for Cottrell Electric. I still think we ought to use that money left on that grant to pay Cottrell rather than bring the company in here just to seal around the thing and rerun a line that's already working. So I think, I mean, not say anything against the engineer, but I think bad design.
I agree with you, Mr. Mayor.
I ask you-
If you will give with me this week, I will call Ms. Davina and
Okay.
I will do whatever I can to try to, see if they can approve what we've already spent to fix the problem instead of the way it was originally engineered.
Mhm.
And if they will allow us to do that, I think that's a great idea.
Okay, all right.
But,
Just get with
Well,
me.
the thing about it is ARP money,
Yeah.
and it has to be on the project.
Approved by them, yeah.
Yeah, it has to be on that project, and that, I mean, the purpose is to get the station running.
We
So-
just took a different route than what the engineers drew.
Right.
is a benefit for the town because we don't have to spend our money. Is already the money there.
The money's
Right?
there.
It's allocated to the project, and the better than we give it to the engineer, we pay for it. Plus, we have over $18,000 extra.
Yeah.
Is correct?
Right.
Okay. So hopefully, Davina, she be with us on the board because we don't wanna come in, got money from our account to cover that.
Okay.
And
You
if-
had a question, Ms. Wilson?
yes, I did.
I
Ms.
just,
Harris, she wanna
I want-
ask something.
I wanted to ask a question, Mayor, do you know if, Davina has put the money in the contractor fund yet? Has she funded that
No.
in the, account, you know, for the 55,000 construction?
For,
For them to get reimbursed or pay, you know, pay themselves when they submit an invoice?
Right, well, she had submitted the payment, so they waiting on the money to come in, so she sent an email and let them know that it was gonna take maybe a couple of weeks to get it. And so I guess it should be, I'm looking for any day really, send an email
So
saying that
she has,
So she waiting on the money, when she get it, she gonna put it in there, so when the
Okay.
payment come in. But
Okay,
you've
but
already
about
submitted the payment.
talking about Simmons Bank.
Mhm.
Different.
I mean, I just want to make sure that we
Right,
aren't gonna
uh-huh.
have to pay somebody
Right, no, we're
because the
not.
money didn't get put in
Right now,
there.
the bid is working on it.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
What I was
She
gonna-
said she got, she could bother it to the bank. Yes, Mr.
I was going
Yes,
to
ma'am.
ask Mr. Hall, and I just need to make sure I'm understanding this. This money, what, even though it's ARP money, and I know ARP has to approve it, but it was from ARP for the purpose of fixing the wells and doing the
Sewer rehab.
sewer, that.
It was sewer
So
rehab.
it's, since it's for that purpose, even though we're not using it specifically for the sewer, still,
Well,
I mean, it's still on the same, in the same thing though, Wayne.
it's in the same, I mean,
What's the
he
difference?
wanted to spend the 38,000 at the same station. So we put the motor in that station, so I can't see why that money can't be used for that.
That's what I'm saying. I just wanted to make sure it is, it's in the same.
It's sewer rehab,
Yeah,
and that's what the purpose of it.
right.
Basically, Ms. Rivers, what we did, it's somewhat typical of engineers. Engineers drew a plan to fix the sewer problem at the Mason Sewer Lift Station
Right.
that would cost $38,000. Well, we had a problem with it backing up in those houses
Right.
there. Therefore, we felt like we had to do something immediately, and Mr. Hall and his team decided that if they put a new motor in what we already existed, we could solve the problem. Fortunately, they did that, and Cottrell Electric came out and rewired it and got the floats and all working properly. We had it steam cleaned, cleaned out and vacuumed out, and we spent $20,000, and at the present time, it's working the way it should work. We don't think we need to spend the $38,000 to tear it out and redo it. And what we're gonna try to do is take our system back. We'll probably offend the engineers,
Yes, sir.
but they'll get over it. We fixed the problem without the engineers telling us how they thought it ought to be fixed, and that's basically it.
Actually, the engineer, he tried to get the money.
So, since this is a grant and this is TDEC money, if they decide not to let us use it for that, do we have to give that money back?
I don't know, I will certainly do my best not to give that money back.
Right,
If they make me, I might agree to giving them the 18,000 back, the difference between 38 they said it was gonna cost and the 20 we spent, but I'm gonna try to hold on to all of it if I can, because we may need to put another pump in there as a backup.
Right,
And if that's the case, we've got the expertise and the capability of doing that.
okay, thank
The
you.
key for that is
Yeah.
to solve it.
I have never talked with Miss
She's a nice
Davina,
lady.
but
Very nice.
I will do my best sales pitch on her.
All right, any more questions? It's not a voting item, all right?
It's a voting item,
Yes.
because we were gonna have it on the agenda for the 9th, and then we moved it to the 15th, because Ricky didn't want that. I was hoping that we didn't let the money go back, so
Yeah.
it is a voting.
So we just need to vote on this new business.
Okay.
Y'all can give me permission to try to make this transition with the grant money.
So you want us to make a motion to allow you the opportunity to talk to
Right.
TDEC?
At the present time, our only option is if we don't get a variance, is to send them their 38,000 back.
Right,
And I wanna ask them to let us keep that, cause we fixed the problem for a lot less, or just tell them we fixed the problem without doing all the digging, and see if they'll buy into that.
We can give him the difference for it.
Well, if they make us, we're not gonna offer the difference until they tell us we gotta do that.
Yes, okay.
I make a motion that we, allow, Mr. Leggett to, discuss with Davina, the, $38,000 versus the $20,000.
Yes, it's basically, if you look at the bottom of the wording that he put, if the board would recommend the town accept this change order,
Okay,
we want to file a change order on the grant
Okay.
from what they wanted to what we did.
so I make a motion that we approve of you negotiating with them, prior to signing any change order.
I have first by Alderman Harris, need a second. A second by Alderman Bodnar. Any discussion?
Mr. Mayor, before we go on, remember we had that June 1st deadline, or they were gonna subpoena
yeah,
some of the board members. So we had to get something done. We could not wait around on Ricky and his, engineering project. We couldn't wait. We had to go on and do something. That's why we, took the action that we did.
But I think everything is fine. I don't hear nothing from Nathan, I don't hear anything from them. We just confirm, we let him everything, the problem solved. And after that, we don't think so, we have to go there, but, Mr. Terry, can you call them tomorrow, Nathan?
Yes, sir.
And find
Yes, sir.
out
I will.
exactly we have to go or
I
not,
talked to
or-
Ricky today, I didn't discuss this matter. I'll talk to him, I'll talk to Miss Davina, and I will have a report for you the next time we meet on the 29th.
But we have to have a decision before the end of the month.
Yeah.
We don't want to surprise. Okay, we appreciate it. I need we need a vote. Mercy, yes.
Harris, yes. Basil, yes.
Rivers, yes.
Caitlin, yes.
That's everybody.
Everybody, okay? We go for the next vote for, permission to have interest on all account paid into the general fund account. Can you explain to us what's going on with that?
We've got several accounts that are earning interest. I'd like to modify this. At the time I approved this with Ms. Lou to be on the agenda, I was not aware that the large CD that we have was water money. And, we cannot take interest off of water money and put it in the general fund. So whenever you make a motion on this, I would hope that you would give me the authority to move the interest that is capable of going to general fund. And if it's a designated fund or an enterprise fund, that interest would stay in that fund. And, but that's what that's about. We've got interest in this core civic fund. You approved about 3 weeks ago to allow me to put that in a money market. It's earned about $12,000. And we can move that out of the core civic fund, just the interest, over into general fund. And that'll give us money that we can get our new year started.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes, ma'am.
We moving the interest over and, having to move the money out of the CDs that we can, if you're gonna get us a total on. Do you think, and it's just a question, do you think that with us moving that money, moving the interest, is it enough to help us make it through without having to get the loan?
No, ma'am. I'll be honest with you. I don't think it will be, because what it will do, it'll allow us to finish this year, these next 2 weeks, with payroll, the settlement, and any other expenses that we might incur. Just our normal running of the city is gonna be close to that number that we can move into general fund. I won't have that number until I really crunch some more numbers, because I gotta go back and refigure. We had 333 in CDs, 246 of that is water fund. That leaves us less than $100,000. And then this interest, we may pick up, maybe, I'm hoping 20,000, so that'll give us about $100,000. And it may cost us $100,000 to finish June. I don't know.
Terry,
What does our payroll run?
we have a sales tax who should be coming up.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We've got sales tax that we get every month. If we get that in time, then that will go in the general fund, and that usually amounts to 15 to 20.
15 for the general.
Okay, 15 for the general fund off sales tax, and we'll probably gain that much off of interest. That's 30,000, and then we gain probably 60 or 70,000 off of other CDs. I know we got 155, 15, and they're different amounts. I can't accurately call them off the top of my head, but we can finish this year, and then we start July 1 going forward. We're gonna have a payroll July 1, and I wanna make sure that we've got enough, because there's no reason, I don't want the city to bounce any checks. That's just the bottom line. I wouldn't do it in my account. I would go borrow money to do that. The city's got the money, but it's in funds that are not, we can't bring water fund over to make payroll. That's not allowed.
We don't wanna have, be in the hot water with the controllers. because
Right.
We have it back in.
Well,
I
I spoke with them today, and they recognize that we may be in a position to have to do a tax anticipation loan. And I will work tomorrow with the bank to make sure that all the paperwork is ready, that if that's y'all's decision on the 29th to do a tax anticipation note, then we'll get the proper approval to move forward with that. Everything will work like clockwork.
Okay, so if we agree to get the, and I'm just asking because I know we gotta make whatever, and we gotta move this and that, but if we do the anticipation loan first, will we still have to clean out our CDs?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, phooey.
I don't like it either, but
We're gonna have a cushion to live down.
yeah.
that long.
I think we're gonna clean out every CD to the general fund to operate on until we get money in. As we get money in on sales tax, we've got to survive until the next property tax is due.
Because when the, yeah, right, and because when the property taxes come, that's when we gotta pay that,
Tax anticipation
the
note
loan
off.
back,
Yes.
yes. Okay,
Did you have your
if,
hand
where do
up?
we go from there?
Adam, did
Yes,
you?
sir.
So I do just want to mention if it's a cash flow issue, then obviously when you need the cash needs to be there. So our approval for a tax anticipation note, I mean, we'll turn it around as quick as we can, but there could be, I mean, technically I think we have 15 days, but we wouldn't wait that long. So could be 1, 2, 3 days somewhere in there. So as soon as you know, go ahead and request to give us time to do the review. So as soon as you figure that out, go ahead and
Before we incur debt for the city, we have to have the comptroller's approval.
Right.
And they have to look at it to see that we're not borrowing money that we can't ever pay back. They won't approve it if that's the case. I think we can demonstrate to them, cause I've lowered the budget by right at $100,000 over what it was this year. It's gonna be a real lean year this year. And, but we're gonna make it, and, if we have to borrow money to do payroll and to keep us afloat, I mean, like our water system, we got money there, and that, we get a lot of bills in every day on water. We have to have an analysis every day, and so all of those are charged to water. But on general fund, we're gonna be real tight on general fund.
Yeah, and I'm just concerned if we, even if they approve, we're gonna have to get enough money to be able to cover us.
It's like a revolving charge.
Right,
If they approve us, I'm just gonna throw a number out. Don't hold me to it. If they approve us for 500,000, okay, we're not going to get 500. We're gonna get enough
Just
to
what
do
we
payroll
need, right,
and to meet our needs.
okay.
And then the next month we'll do the thing, and we pay interest only on what we borrowed, not on the full
I get it,
500,000.
okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
I have two questions. One question is, don't we have a revolving fund alone with the state already
We do.
of 351,000?
Yes, we do.
I thought we
Well, it's
voted,
down to 178 now.
pardon me?
I said it's down to 178 now.
But is that from the state?
No, no.
That's from a
The
bank?
municipal bond, no. It's
That's
from
a
the bank.
municipal bond,
From a
ain't
bank,
It's from, yeah.
From whom?
Bank of, what, Bank of New York?
Okay, but that's one that was done years ago.
Right.
Right.
Okay, that's money that we borrowed years ago to do something. Do you have something, Ms. James?
No, I was just gonna say, TML municipal bond fund
Yeah.
is what you're talking about, revolving.
Yeah.
And then the second half was, I make a motion to vote for giving Mr. Leggett the permission to have interest on all accounts with the exception of proprietary accounts and restricted accounts, paid into the general fund. And then we
Okay.
have, okay, well, I'll just leave it at that, and that's it. All
Okay,
right,
I
the
have
second.
furnished by Alderman Harris, I need a second.
I second.
Who seconded? Ms. Madison seconded.
No, Rivers second.
Miss Rivers, second.
Ms. River, I didn't hear. Alright, any discussion?
And I do just want to add one more thing. I had to look it up in our debt manual to make sure I was going to tell you the right thing. But with the tax anticipation note, you can only borrow 60%, up to 60% of expenses. So it's not an unlimited amount. It is capped at 60% of your expenditures. Typically, when people do tax anticipation notes, they usually don't approach that amount. But I will say, if you do end up applying for that or submitting an anticipation note for our approval, we're going to want to see a cash flow for the fund receiving the money, just to make sure A, you need it, and B, you can pay it. So,
Is that 60% of our budget? What we got budgeted?
I believe so for the fund, and I'll confirm that. But typically, what I do when they come in, I look at the most recent audit, and then I just say, okay, well, based on expenditures from this particular fund, the most recent audit, because typically the amount that comes in doesn't approach 60%. It's typically well below that.
Okay.
I'll confirm that though, and I'll send you an email with the process as far as
Thank
requesting
you.
it, but I'll confirm that. Yeah.
Alright. Any more concern? I had the vote.
Here's this.
Mason, yes.
Taylor, no.
Fair no. 4-2.
Okay, so that's gonna be 4 yes, 2 no's, and that's K-Tron and Renata.
Alright, we go for the next, vote, establish a time deposit earning from core civic. Population to put in the funds into the interest bearing capital account. Mr. Terry, you can explain to everybody.
We, by y'all's contract, we get $1 a day per prisoner. Right now, they're running roughly $425, $430 prisoners a day. So that should bring in that. At that fund right now, and it's very convoluted the way it was drawn in the contract. We get a payment from ICE, and CoreCivic bills us, and what they bill us is less than what ICE sends us. Well, the difference between what they send us and what we pay ICE from their invoice is our money. But the contract stipulates that's for capital things.
Right.
All right. What I want permission from you to do is to create a new account called a Capital CC account. That's Capital CoreCivic. And what I will do, right now that account has 61,000 and change in it. I want to pull 50,000 out of that to leave some in there and put it in this new account, making interest. And then every quarter, I will come to you as that account grows and ask you to allow me to, for lack of a better word, raid that account again and pull it down to like $10,000 of our money and put it in this capital account. Now what that will do, that will help us in this lean year that we've got. If we have something we need to buy, equipment or something of that nature, we can take that money and buy it, and it won't be coming out of general funds. What we'll have to do, we'll have to take that money out and bring it into general fund on a budget amendment, and then you give me permission to buy something. It can't be used for reoccurring debt, such as, or reoccurring obligations such as payroll and things like that, because they may pull all the prisoners out tomorrow, and if they do, we've lost that income. So that's the reason why it's restricted to capital.
Okay, Mr. Terry,
Yes, sir.
I think I discussed with you regard about that. We suppose have more money from them because according to our calculation, we suppose have over 100,000 by now.
Well, they did not start taking prisoners, I understand, until October. And they didn't start with 400 prisoners. They started bringing them in on the bus.
Yeah.
So at the present rate, if we earn, and y'all are texting me to do my math in my head, but if we earn roughly $400 a day,
Yeah.
and it's 30 days a month, that's gonna be $12,000 a month.
Yeah.
Well, if we've only been doing it since October, and we've only been at capacity for the last 4 months, then we're pretty well right on track of 65,000. I will review that with CoreCivic to make sure. I don't know whether, I used to run 201 Papa, a jail. We did our head count at midnight every night, and that head count is what we had prisoners in-house, because by midnight, everything has ceased, it's shut down, everybody's supposed to be in their bed. So you do a head count, and that's the number that we use to file with the state for our board bill from the state of Tennessee. Therefore, I'm sure that CoreCivic has something similar, but CoreCivic brings in a busload, and they send out a busload, a lot of times the same day. CoreCivic is not a housing facility.
It's a hotel.
It is a stop off. We catch prisoners from Chicago. It's a 1-day bus trip from Chicago to Mason. We take them here, we make up a busload of prisoners from here to go to Louisiana, a one-day trip. They're moving them in buses so they don't have to house them overnight. So everything that comes in here has been on the bus no longer than one day. Everything going out is no longer than one day. So I will check with them to verify. I want them to send me a daily count. I'll be happy when I see a daily count, just like we send, or I used to send to the state to know how many prisoners they had on June the 15th, and when did they do that head count. And it should be at night, and they could tell me we have 430 prisoners. Well, then I feel like they owe us $430. But I have not got that yet. They were 2 months behind on billing us. That was the reason why we had over $5 million of government money in our account earning interest, which was great for us. And they're still behind. They still haven't billed for April, and we haven't received money from ICE yet for April. So we don't have anything to do with either one of those billings, but we're just the pass-through.
Okay. Appreciate it. Yes, Ms. Harris.
I have a question about the capital purchases. If we need something like a piece of equipment, like a backhoe, why would we take it out of the capital account? Why wouldn't we take it out of the water if the water has it, since it's going to be used for the water department?
We could do that. That will be up to the board, but I mean, that's the way I'm gonna ask you. If it's for a specific fund, an enterprise fund, we will ask it to buy it.
So this would actually, if we needed street paving or something like that, we could
It could be used,
also use
fire department equipment. It could be used for a police car. It could be used for any capital purchase for the city.
Okay, let me be clear with that, correct. When we started the whole process with it, I talked with the comptroller, and they say, if we open different account and we use the interest, that's it, this account for purchasing, paving street, fixing the utilities, whatever it is you need, buying equipment, all this kind of stuff, yes, but we cannot use it for payroll.
No.
This is the reason the comptroller agreed for that, so I'm in it 100%, I support it, and I need a motion to accept it, please.
Mr. Leggett, I thought we already voted on this. Did we just discuss it the last time?
No,
Did we
you
not vote?
voted to allow me to move the Core Civic Fund into an interest-bearing account. And by doing that, in 3 weeks, it made over $12,000. That was when we had over $5 million in that account. Now, that account's down to 72,000 because everybody's been paid and we don't have new money coming in.
Alright, any more discussion? I need the motion to accept the, establish account deposit earning, from the Core Civic, earnings, to put it up there in the fund of interest, earning and capital account.
Are you making the motion? Or you want
We need the
somebody else?
board, right?
Somebody needs to make a motion.
Oh, were you making a motion?
No.
Oh, you weren't.
He-
Just speak.
You can solve that real easy by saying so moved.
So moved.
So moved, okay? First, make it easy, yeah.
So Ms. Broadnax
I have
made the
first,
motion.
Ms. Duana Broadnax first, a second, I'm seconded, the mayor seconded. Any vote, any discussion? Need the vote? Mayor say yes.
Harris, yes.
Major, yes.
Scrivener, yes.
Caitlin, no.
Alright. Got it, Ms.
Okay,
Ruth?
so that's 5-1, okay, trying to know. Okay, thank you.
We got reports for, number one, code enforcement. Did you have any reports?
I will submit that report for him. His grandson was playing in a championship baseball game tonight, and he asked permission to not make the meeting tonight, and I granted it. So I hope that y'all will support my decision. But he has issued over 20 warning letters in the last month, and he has issued 9 second warnings. The next thing to do after the 9 second warnings, if they're not corrected, he will issue citations to be heard in the July court. So some of the warnings that he's issuing, I authorized him to send by registered mail, because we're having, some of those people don't live in Mason, and we have problems finding them, so we send them by registered mail so that we can get a report back that they got them. And we hope to start cleaning up. Any questions? Thank you.
All right. We have to vote for it.
No, you don't have to vote on them. These are just reports for information.
All right, second, the finance department. Everybody looked at the number. There's a lot of numbers. Any concern, any question?
If I could make one comment, I'm not sure the board was told, and I wanna make sure, I want it in the record. We had a situation before I got here in early April, on April the 6th. We sent $55,000 to answer 3 invoices that we received from CEC, that's Civil Engineering Consultants, about the well, and we sent an additional $5,000 that was invoiced to us. There was a scam that happened. We haven't figured out where that happened on our end or on the other end, but we received emails that there had been some checks stolen from CEC, and the email told us to send the money to a different account. That money was transferred through ACH, which is Automatic Clearinghouse from the bank, on April the 6th. And on April the 8th, we tried to reverse that, and the money was gone. I have filed a police report with the department, and we're hoping that at some point the FBI will check into it. Whoever did the scam, they knew what they were doing, because they purported to be someone that we had been dealing with CEC. They gave us the email in her name, and they knew the invoice numbers, and they knew the amounts, and they instructed us to send it to another account. The only problem that I have with it, as your town administrator, there was a disclaimer or a warning in that email that said, beware, it was from a unknown domain. And I wish we had picked that up. We didn't pick it up. We sent the money. And so right now, we're out that $60,000. I filed with our insurance company. I'll be meeting with them in the next week or two. Hopefully our insurance will reimburse us. If it doesn't, that's $60,000 that we'll have to come up with at the end of that grant. Well, there's enough money in the grant for us to keep continuing on until we get to the end, but right now it's $60,000 short. And I just want to give you all an update on that.
But the way we see it, look at it, the problem is not from our end, it's from their end, because they have the account number, they have the codes, they have all this information.
They could have entered our internet on this end and gotten all the communications that we had with that company. Or they could have entered it on their end in Pennsylvania and gotten it on that end. The only thing that, as a town manager, that I'm uncomfortable with is that we didn't follow the warning. And Ms. Vernita and I have talked about it, and there was a warning on the,
I sent it to you.
there was
I
a,
need the warning.
there was a warning on the email.
The warning was on there when I forwarded it to you, the same thing, the same
You showed me
information.
the printout, that's when I saw the warning, cause I told you, I said, well,
Well,
would've
it was,
stopped right
it
there.
was in the
The one was
emails.
in the emails.
It was in the
And you was in
emails,
your
and
email, but you forwarded the emails
that's,
to me.
that, lady.
Yeah, I forwarded the emails to
Okay,
you.
we'll discuss it
Uh,
later on. We'll discuss it.
Anyway, there was a warning and we didn't heed it. And so we sent $60,000. And hopefully our insurance will take care of it. And I hope the insurance doesn't get hung up on the warning, because that's the only thing that I see that we may have done wrong. But, you know, these people are good, and instead of going to Pennsylvania, where the money was supposed to go, it went to Minnesota, where they're having all that fraud up there. Those people are good up there. But somebody was reading our mail, for lack of a better term. They were reading our mail, they knew we owed them money, they told us to send, they gave us the invoice numbers, they gave us the amounts, they gave us everything that we needed, that we would have gotten from the company. They just changed the account number for where the money was going.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll go for the fire department. Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Oh, I thought you were
I'm
asking
sorry.
about the
I was thinking-
finance.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay. That 103 is still in there, that was, to be reallocated to the other accounts? We're gonna do that with an amendment, right? Okay.
That 103 is not there.
I know it's not there. That's, but,
I mean,
but it shows it's there, so I'm.
well,
It's a
it's,
bad one.
it's ink on a piece of paper.
It's a piece
Yeah.
of bad.
We had 103,000 we didn't spend there, but we have 200,000 that we spent that wasn't on the paper. So, you know, if you go line item by line item, the 103 appears there now, but it's not in the bank.
I know, but the money that it was reallocated to needs to go in the proper line items in the new, budget, so that's the only
The
reason.
new
I was
budget,
saying.
that doesn't exist in the new budget.
Well, no, the reallocation does exist though, right?
No, I put a number in the new budget that represents what we have actually spent or intend to spend on that line item, period. I could not use the old budget for a lot of information on developing a new budget. I had to look at a trend of spending, what we've spent in the past, and we didn't spend that 103, so I certainly didn't move that to the new budget.
Well, no, we
But-
spent a chunk of it, but we didn't spend the 103, but we passed a resolution
Yeah.
on a reallocation, so
Yeah.
what happens when you,
That's
when
what she's
that's the
saying.
case?
That's what you're saying. It was already voted on to move a portion of that money. That's how the money ended up in the the fire department.
Right.
Cause a portion of it was moved, supposed to be moved from
I can
there.
only tell you,
I know, I know,
when I came on board,
yeah.
that 103 is gone. It's been spent.
All right, we'll move on. Any discussion? Okay, we'll go for the fire department. Mr. Dirk, do you have anything to say about your report or anything?
I'm in the process of going through, over the hydrants, getting locations very well enough. I'm gonna be going making sure they work. I know some of them are out of service. And I'm not sure who fixes the hydrants yet. I don't know if it goes to public.
Do it go through you, Mr. Hall?
Huh?
Don't it go
Did-
through public work?
We've been using a contractor,
Oh.
on the repairs on the hydrants lately. But yeah, we do need to know when they're out of service.
Okay, well, I'm in the process now of going and labeling, getting their specific location, so I'm gonna put it on my map. And I'm gonna check them, if they're in service or out of service,
Okay,
and I'm marking, and I'll let you know.
okay, very good.
All right, appreciate it.
We also have one person that has applied for be a volunteer, his name is Elijah Cox. We're getting background check on him, but if it was good, as you know, my brother's the Fayette County Fire Chief. He did work for him, now he's working for the railroad at night, but he wants to do this also. And he had done the background, he knows him, he gave him high marks, so. And he lives right down here in Mason, right here on the corner.
What did you say his name was, Mr.?
Elijah Cox.
Elijah
Cox.
Cox.
Okay, thank
Yeah,
you.
I think he lived behind the store or front of the store.
Just to the,
Yeah, Highway 59.
on Highway 59 right there at 70, across from the Marathon. He lives right there, so.
We appreciate you.
Alright.
All right.
Can I ask, what happened to Mr. Treadway? Is he still, did Mr. Treadway
I haven't talked
volunteer?
with him yet.
Pardon me?
I haven't talked with him yet.
Oh, you haven't?
No, he, trying to figure out how to get online on Facebook and advertise for
At
volunteers.
the present time, the fire department does not have a computer.
Yeah, I don't have a computer yet.
And so we're going to need to buy a computer for them.
Everything will work.
The computer that was over there, did not belong to the city.
We have a lot of equipment with them.
We got a lot of equipment, we just don't have a computer.
We do.
No,
There's
sir,
a big-
it's not
big
there.
screen
That-
computer.
It's not
that's-
there.
There's a screen, that's it.
When,
There's no
when
computer
the,
to it.
when previous fire personnel left, I guess the computer left with them, I don't know. Because we gone over there and inventory.
Yeah, there's a monitor over there and
Yeah.
that's
What
it,
about-
nothing.
What about the older man, what is his name? Mr. Buddy?
Yeah.
No.
Mr. Buddy was working off of a laptop of his own.
What happened to the computer at the fire department is that it ended up going to the police department to be put in the property room. Right, because
It's still there.
because a complaint had been filed, that, the town's email system had been hacked, was being hacked. And so it was put over in the property locker and they were gonna take a look at it and track that down.
The police department had it, but it does not belong to
But
the
it
city.
doesn't work because whoever was the last one to use it took some of the connections and the cords. Took it up. They took it with them, so it wouldn't work anymore anyway.
Okay. All right, man. Thank you, Mr. Will. Appreciate you. Police department report.
Police. That's you.
We had 202 calls, that's the most calls we've ever had since I've been here. Had 5 calls today, including a girl that was beat up, threatened with a knife over on Harmony. So we had to make an arrest out of that today on the day shift while I was working by myself, so. But I throw that in there.
On that lawn being disconnected, on the building, you said it was disconnected 2 years ago?
Well, all I know is they called me and said, "Are you aware of the alarm system's off?" I said, "No." And, they came out here and checked it out, and there's a wire up there that somebody disconnected. It didn't do it to itself, cause it worked the first 2 years, so I had to get them back out here to reconnect it.
Don't you have a camera out here?
Yeah. And we're in the process of looking at that, but
Okay.
that's 2 years ago.
So it don't hold the data that long?
No.
Okay,
And we wasn't even aware it was not working.
right, okay.
I have a question as well, Chief. Now, this just in case, I mean, we pay them every month
Yeah,
for doing that kind of stuff, so how did they miss it for 2 years?
I don't know. That's just what they, I mean, I don't pay them. I don't pay them, we just, the alarm is set.
The just in case security system.
Yeah,
Yeah, give you the pin pad when you come in and out. The buildings, wherever the city hall, the police department, and the public work. and also monitoring the camera system. You know,
They wouldn't
No.
know that the alarm
Thank you.
wasn't working for 2 years?
Right, that was
Here?
my question.
Yeah, in the police department?
it's
It's-
supposed
it's
Elaine,
been
she
off
was
for 2 years.
Elaine, she was over
No.
for that.
The alarm
Well,
company
that's
should have
a lot.
known the alarm was
Yeah,
not
she
working.
was over.
Especially for 2 years.
2
She
years
she
and we
put-
paying them and they didn't know the alarm was on.
It said it was disconnected 2 years ago and they were
Miss
reconnected.
Elaine, she
If
was
this-
over it, she gave us direction for
If
that.
this evidence had room had been compromised, they would have, TBI would have shut us down over here. That's the main reason for it. Got guns, money, bullets,
Drugs.
weapons, drugs, everything in there.
Well, you shouldn't be telling us then.
Yeah,
They
well,
kept them with that.
I mean, good.
Well, I can
Now
give you
we're
the
all
phone
on
number
TV
of
subscription.
Terry to call him. I have to.
Okay, well, she tried to call me today, but I was in meetings.
Yeah.
Miss Elaine tried to call me, and apparently, I just found out, I didn't know that she had a connection with the security company.
Yes, it did.
And, the mayor just told me that, and I will, return her call tomorrow, and I'll try to answer some of the questions that y'all have posed tonight.
Okay. Thank you all. All right, Public Works, Mr. Matt.
I will, if I may, before Matt starts, I've noticed an uptick in traffic tickets. The police department is writing many more tickets than they were when I first got here, or I wasn't seeing the ones that they wrote the first time. I think Miss Lou can attest to that, and y'all raised the court costs. So, the income from that is going to help us, because 90% of all of our tickets are written, they're not the people that live in Mason. They're pass-throughs, people that are passing through, so they can help us support our system, when our new judge starts.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Matt,
Yes.
tell us what's going on in your department, please.
Well, right now, we're still trying to get, those no read meters installed. We have August 31st deadline, and Ms. Terry and I have, we're trying to get a pinpoint figure on how many we still got to go. We're somewhere around, 350, I would say, still to go. We still got a little time, but they averaging 15 a day when they able to put them in.
We have to finish it.
We have to,
You know, if you're not, we touched it.
If we don't have to, it's another grant we're gonna do.
You said it's averaging three, so the number you gave us in, May was wrong, cause you said there was around 250 meters still remain. You said 3?
Now, I think I said put in.
No, you said there are 250 water meters remaining to be installed by August the 31st. That's what you said at the last
I
meeting.
did.
Uh-huh. So I'm asking you this, that now you're saying 300, you must have made an error.
My daily count today
Uh-huh.
is showing me
That's,
closer to 380 or something like that.
wow.
Today,
Oh,
now, I had a ARP meeting at 2 o'clock today, and they needed to know something. I had them go down and count, so that's where we are. And so if I gave you that figure last month, I was wrong.
yeah.
But I'm going by what they're giving me.
So it's 380 something now.
Still to go.
What was the actual total?
1,000.
Mr. Matt,
How many did you say
I
were
would-
installed this last, you keep a daily count or you count every week?
I don't work every day. I work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I'm part-time. I don't have a vehicle. I have to buy my own gas. I do the best I can with what I got. All right?
Okay,
Okay?
we appreciate
So,
you.
if you will instruct Johnny and them, if any way possible, I want 2 men installing meters every day. They're just gonna have to work around it. Cause
Well, I
we've got to
think they
get
had-
that done by
they had
August.
some kind of water problem today.
Well,
Matter of
but-
fact, when I came in,
But we've got enough guys down there somebody needs to designate 2 men to do nothing but install water meters and work at it every day till we get that number in a manageable, because at 15 a day, I can see us running out of time. So, just tell them they're just gonna have to suck it up, and, you know, if they got a water problem, I understand you, in order to go into a hole, you gotta have 3 men by OSHA.
Yeah.
But you can pull them off of installing meters to come fix a hole, but if
Other than that,
we've got like 10 guys on the payroll. I'm just telling you.
How many guys it takes, Mr. Hall, to put in 1 meter?
well,
With the three crew,
it's,
you know.
That's not my question.
it varies, okay? So, sometimes when they go to put these meters in, some of them are buried in the ground, some of them
Take
got
longer.
roots going through them,
Right,
it's a
okay.
lot.
It's a lot of
So,
work.
some are easy. Now, when they went through the subdivision,
That was easy.
oh, that's easy.
Yeah.
But you got
I
in
know
rural
rural
areas,
areas,
and
you're right.
you get in these driveways, and you have different circumstances.
Yeah, okay.
So,
You got rain. you
So-
got
three
weather.
guys, I would say, basically, on a install, would be three guys, so.
All right, appreciate you, Mr. Matt.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, appreciate you. All right,
Not you, Mr. Hall, you might can, I don't know.
What?
But Mayor, did you know that we got a 20% gas leak rate?
you got what?
A 20% gas leak? We losing
20%?
gas, yes, we 22%, to be exact, I think it's 22% leak.
I'm not worried about gas.
Actually, it's not,
Wait a minute, what did you, what did you say?
it's not,
Not you.
I'm not saying I'm not worried about gas leak. Do you know what you mean gas leak? Everything will blow up if you have a gas
You
leak.
didn't answer my question.
Yeah, what
Do you realize that we do have, I ain't asking you, I'm telling you, do you realize we do have a 20-some% gas leak
I'm not
on the records at the state?
it's
I'm not
not
worried about
necessarily a leak, but it's gas we're using and paying for
That
that we're not getting
money
reimbursed
for.
for.
Yeah.
Right,
I'm not worried about
but
it.
we're not getting.
You're not worried about it.
That's for them.
Well, you need to be worried
Well,
about it. That's a loss of
Man,
money.
man,
I met with the gas company today. I called in some gas experts that I'm familiar with that handle the gas for Galloway. And they came over and we went through gas files from the state. And when they inspected us, the gas that we bought and paid for from Trunkline and the gas that we sold and collected money for, we sold 22% less than what we bought. And that's a significant amount, because an acceptable amount is 1% or 2%. Anything over 5% really concerns the state. And it was not brought to my attention until these gas experts looked at some of our paperwork that the state, when they audited us, if you have a $50,000, if we buy $50,000 worth of gas in January or December, and we lose 22% of that, that's over $10,000 a month. And so I've got them working. It could be a number of things, and it may not be a leak, but I've checked around with Miss Rivers and other people. Nobody can tell us the last time our gas meters were changed. Well, our gas meters are like meat. They get old. And when they get old, they don't register. So that means that we could be losing $10,000 a month because of a lazy gas meter. So I'm going to work with these experts, and I will be bringing perhaps to y'all, if nothing more than a contract, to let's hire somebody that's going to be on site. I've been here 2 months. I haven't seen anybody from Symmetry. I don't think they send us anything but an invoice. They just wanna get paid. They don't come in and look at our books and look at what we're doing. That's what we did today with these gas people. And, I don't know that our people are properly qualified to deal with a gas leak. We've got some that are OQ'd, operator qualified, but Miss April, if she answers the phone and takes a gas leak call, she has to be OQ qualified and she has to have a DOT physical in order to do anything with gas. Those are things that up until today, I thought our gas was fine. But when I saw 22% loss, it's not a leak, it's a loss.
Yeah.
And if I can improve that, I think I can save the city $100,000 a year if we can get that down to nothing. We qualify for grants. We may write a grant to try to get the money to change out a meter. A meter costs about $150 is what a new gas meter costs. And if we're gonna do that, we need to get electronic meters so they do just like our water meters and they telegraph the reading to our billing department. So, but I'm gonna delve into it more, but we were meeting in City Hall, Ms. Rivers came in, and I try to be transparent. I don't hide anything. And if I find out something, y'all are gonna hear about it. So now you know we've got a potential problem with our gas department that we're not collecting for every cubic foot of gas we buy. It's going somewhere. And so I feel compelled to find out where it's going, and if it's old meters, we're gonna try to get a grant where we can change those meters out. And if we do that, that's gonna be a significant income to the city.
All right, did Mr. Andy Sullivan, he can help us with that or no?
Well, all he could do is look at the form that D2 Energy looked at and tell us, yep, you lost 22%. And I think if it were my money, first thing I'd want to do is try to get a grant to change the meters. Because we probably hadn't changed meters in 40 years.
Yes, that's correct.
And a 40-year-old meter's gonna let gas slide by it without recording it.
That's correct. Thank you, appreciate it. All right, we'll move on. Any question from the citizen? Yes, ma'am.
I wanna know when.
Come forward, please, so we can
Oh, I'm
hear.
sorry. I would like to know when we can get some of those potholes filled up in Beaver Creek.
Okay.
We
Let
have
everybody
plenty
knows
potholes.
before, Terry, he coming in the board. We submit application with FEMA, okay? And FEMA approved us, to fix the whole street, Brooks Street or Brooks Avenue up there in front of your house. Brooks Avenue. And FEMA coming back to me a couple of weeks ago, I forgot to discuss with him about it. What he say is we have a two option to do that. We have to finish it before August 31st. We can wait for the money from FEMA, or the town fix it, whatever, put it, bat it out, whatever it is, and we got the invoice, submit it to FEMA, after that we got our money. FEMA allocated to the town is almost $130,000, Ms. Benita, around $130,000 to fix it, okay? And the money, like, we can get it, but we have to spend it first to fix it. After that, we send to the bill to FEMA to do that. I got all the emails, all the paperwork. We're working on it for almost 6-7 months. Me and Ms. Vanita and Ms. Norma, and we got it finalized with that. So the only thing, we have a two option, like I say. We fix it, we got the invoice, send it to FEMA, or we can wait until August. You know, FEMA, she can fix it up there. Or we can batch it up, whatever you guys wanna do. This is the only thing I can do. You remember we coming up there, the group of FEMA?
Yeah, but that's been a year
missionary
ago.
doing it?
That's been a year ago. But I think if we wait till August, it's gonna be worse and worse, cause it's bad now.
Yeah,
So in another month, what you think gonna happen?
Yeah.
Somebody gonna run into that big hole that's in that street. Somebody gonna definitely run into the one that water drain.
front of her house up there with the police department, the police guard got drowned up there, is correct? Front of you guys, front of your house, yes, we did. Yes, Miss Richard.
Mayor, I wanna make sure I understood you clearly. You said that that with FEMA, there's the money that FEMA has all agreed to give Mason, $100 and some thousand to get this done, but we have to fix it and then pay them back, send the invoice to them and they give us the money?
We have the two options. The first option, we fix it, we put it out, you know, we don't have the money for that. And after that, when we finish it up, give it to them, send it for us, they give us the money, they check for it.
Well,
Or we
I
can-
mean, I'm just asking, cause this first I heard that they was giving us that money, they would do that for us to be able to fix this. And if we get this stuff fixed, they gon' and send the invoice, then they gonna turn around and send us the money. I mean, you didn't tell us anything about
I
that.
didn't say because I was not make sure we're gonna get it to finally step for it. It was in the air. Because we take a lot of paperwork back and forth, but it was not concrete deals.
So it's concrete now?
It's concrete, I think like about a couple of weeks ago.
So when are we gonna get this? Did they send anything in writing?
Yeah, everything,
I
we have
mean, 'cause-
emails, and we have the schedule, all this
Well,
kind of stuff.
we need to share that with the
Yeah,
board, so
yeah.
we'll be aware
But
of it.
right now is a concrete, it's a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, just share it with the board, so we'll be
Okay.
aware.
All right, yes, Ms. Harris.
Yes, I would like to, before you end the meeting, I would like to amend the agenda for, the next, the second reading of the budget on the 29th to include the passing of the rate fees schedule.
Right.
That we've been trying to pass for 2 years.
What the rate fee?
For what?
What the rate fee?
You know, the permits, the burn permit,
I will talk
the,
about it many times, $50 here, $20 here.
it
stuff
has
like
to
that.
be raised and it has to be put on the website.
And we have to have
Because we
a
haven't
resolution to that, I thought. And we have to have an agreement or something,
We'll
So-
have a
we're
draft.
gonna have all that.
Yeah, and you
Okay.
can, everybody can look it over and it just vote or,
All right,
normally the planning commission would advise you, but every time we've tried to have a meeting for it, we didn't have a quorum to pass it,
and we
so.
don't have anything to discuss. Did you have anybody come talk about bring something?
What?
No,
For the planning?
the planning commission?
No, that's not what I said.
Yeah.
I just said that every time we've tried to pass the rate fee, we haven't had a quorum.
All right, any other concern?
Yes, sir. Excuse me. Excuse me. Mike Harris. I was approached by one of the citizens over in Beaver Creek in regards to the interest is coming into the subdivision. I think the last couple of years ago, a question was asked, why is there just one way in and the only way out? One way in and the only way out, which means that if something happens where you get blocked coming into that area, then there's no way out. That's something or everything that that I think the board and mayor to address that. That could be it's not a problem in terms of nothing has happened yet, but it's one way in. Think about it. I don't know how many houses in the area, but it's approximately around about 20 houses in that area, I believe. It's more than 20? It's more than 20 houses in the area. And if something major happens where that the front entrance, the entrance to going in, is blocked, just like in Richland Hill, you can go in and you can come out from Finney-Naphy, you can come out to Gangler Lane. Is that correct? But in Beaver Creek, that's not the case. So that's something you need to really address that, because you got a number of families that's live in that area, and we don't. That's a problem. There's something serious that could happen that Mason would not be able to live down. So just want to just kind of put that on your mind to bring it up again. Very serious. My second question is it's not pertaining to Beaver Creek. To our city manager, Ms. O'Lagan, thank you. Mayor, to our code enforcement, what do the citizens have to go by? Let's say they get a warning or a citation or something of that nature. What do citizens, what kind of notification would they get? Because I know back in 2004, I believe it was in 2004, that was a long time ago, that there was, I think it was a junkyard, a city, I think it was junkyard ordinance or something of that nature. It was an ordinance in place, Ms. O'Lagan. And we have a copy of that ordinance at that time. I don't know whether it's still on the records or not, or what have you, but it was some very serious stuff that was handed down to the board, and they passed it, I believe. Go ahead, Mrs. Harris.
And can I tell you, Mr. Harris, that ordinance is still in place, and you can find it. It's under the municipal code law on the MTAS website. If
Yes,
you
ma'am.
type in MTAS
Yes, ma'am.
and you go into Mason and you look at the municipal code,
Mhm.
it still has the junkyard ordinance there.
Okay, Ms. O'Lagan, sir.
If I may, I've worked with code enforcement officer. Every time he gives a warning,
Yes, sir.
he makes a copy of the city ordinance
Yes, sir.
that requires, just say for instance, grass.
Mhm.
There's an ordinance that says the grass should not get over a certain height.
Yes, sir.
He attaches that ordinance with the warning.
Yes, sir.
Therefore, the citizen is not getting a warning or a second warning about something that they didn't know there was a law. When most of the time, he goes by and tells them about it before he ever gives them a warning. And then if they don't correct it in 10 days, he goes by and gives them a written warning. And if they don't correct that within the allotted amount of time, he goes by and gives them a second warning and tells them the next time he sees them, he's gonna write them a citation,
Yes,
which will cite them into court.
yes. Thank you. Thank you very
Yes,
much.
All right,
Okay,
thank you. Appreciate it. Any
Okay.
comments?
Mayor, based on that entrance he talking about, wouldn't that fall under the person that built that subdivision?
It's before my time.
But, I mean, when you take out the time or be interested in trying to figure out or find out who it was?
It's Mr. Richard Marbury. He built a subdivision. He got approved from the county and the city council before everything and stuff like that. So I don't have any answer for that because I was not there back then.
Whoever approved the plans should have.
I will
They should
check
be
on
sure
that
that-
for
Okay.
Mr. Harris,
Okay.
but I know in Fayette County is the only person, that's where I get most of my knowledge. If a road has more than a certain number of houses on it, it has to have a separate entrance and egress.
Yeah.
You have to have that for fire service, because if fire goes in and they set up and they lay out a hose, they're not gonna let you drive over it. And therefore, the road is blocked when the fire truck sets up to fight a fire. So you have to give an alternative way. but it depends on how long the road is and how many houses are on it. I do not know about Tipton County, but I will check on that, and I'll try to have an answer at the next meeting, Mr. Harris, for you.
All right.
Mason Manor's the same way.
Mason Manor's the
is
same way.
One way in, one way out.
All right. We need the closing prayer by Alderman River.
Mayor, do you wanna acknowledge Mr. MTS back there? And he might wanna have a word.
Mr. Llewellyn's
I
here.
can see.
He's been observing all night.
Oh, okay.
All right, appreciate it. Appreciate you. Closes prayer by Alderman River.
Let us bow. Our most gracious and heavenly Father, we come now to tell you thank you. Thank you for being in the midst of us, allowing this meeting to go as it has and helping us to move the town forward. We know that we have a difficult time, things that we gotta fix, but we know with your help, God, we can get through this. So we ask you just govern this board, their minds, the mayor, Mr. Leggett, keep us all on the same page so we can move forward. And then, Master, as we get ready to leave this place, we ask you to bless each individual that's here. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Make a motion to adjourn. First by Alderman Harris, second.
I wasn't trying not to say, hey, come in with a whole bunch of like I said, I flicked the lights at you. Wouldn't nobody talk to me. I know.